This
Thank you.
conference will now be recorded.
I'm doing okay. How was your weekend?
Very busy.
Very busy. What about the Halloween? Did you celebrate it?
No.
Or
Halloween
you're
is
busy?
banned actually
Oh,
this
it is
year.
bad.
It's like,
Oh, why so?
I mean, COVID cases.
COVID cases. Okay.
Yeah,
Just because of that. Otherwise, you do celebrate Halloween there, right?
we don't have a choice. I have a kid and she wants to get dressed up.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. So,
she still got dressed up. It's just that there was no trick or treating for her.
yeah, that's the issue. Like no one will be coming to the home or yeah, so that's hard. For kids, this is the only time they enjoy
Yeah, they
the
wait for this
festival
time, but
season. Yeah.
unfortunate for them this year.
Mm. Anyhow, life goes on. So maybe next year they will be,
Maybe next
um,
year.
yeah, enjoying that. So you tell me, did you got a chance to go back and review what we have discussed or learned till yet?
I saw all the videos. I tried to install these things on my system, but
Mhm.
it failed almost 4 times. 4 times it failed. So what I did
Oh.
was I created an AWS account.
Mhm.
Um, I created an instance and tried to install this on EC2.
Mhm.
I've I've installed almost everything. I mean, I install it on Linux, CentOS OS.
Okay.
On CentOS, I downloaded this Tableau server on it. It is just that
Mhm.
when I RDP it to it, right, it's showing me a
Mhm.
blue screen right now, but it doesn't go beyond that point. And I just want to finish my install on it, and it is stuck there. I'm trying to figure out what happened. It's a
So
quite.
why did you choose Linux system at the very first place?
I'm going to create 2 instances, one on Linux CentOS as well as on Windows as well. I wanted to
Okay.
learn how to install both, just in case if some clients choose to
Go on the Linux one.
Linux or Windows. I just wanted to choose both.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is where I'm stuck at. I have all the script. I have run all the scripts actually. It's just that
Mhm.
now I'm waiting for it to finish installation.
So
And
right now
today,
on the blue screen, what it is like? It is just a blue screen, or is it continue installing that?
no, it doesn't show that. Let me share my screen. This is where I'm at.
Okay.
Uh, and it doesn't go beyond this point. No matter what I click. I'm wondering what's happening with this.
So you can't even choose the application installer.
No, I just have to install it now. This is where I'm
Okay.
at. Maybe I'll log in again, close it and log in again.
Yeah. Close it and log in again. So this is the remote desktop. Yeah. Right. Connect to that.
I don't know if this is the
Yes.
same path.
Now say, can you click on the drop down beside that? Yeah. So this is the only one you have logged in right now. Say yes to this. One second. So okay.
Yeah.
Can you click Control Alt and Delete three of them together?
I did.
It did. Mm. Did you Google it? That what's
I am actually Googling it.
Mhm.
How do I move this away?
So hover over on the top and just minimize that. Yeah, there's a minimize button there on the right panel. So cross, restore, and minimize. Yeah, the last.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one. The
there
minus one.
is. I think there is this Google Meet stuck up on the top, which doesn't move.
Okay. So Google Meet ones will be, there's a 6 dot there. You have to click on that dot and drag it away to some other
Got
part
it.
of
Okay. Now,
yeah.
now I'm doing it. Let me just see this one time.
Let me Google it too. Table
See
to
two.
login to
This
send.
is
This is CentOS 7.
Center 7. Yeah. This is a pretty long process. This one takes a lot of time.
Yeah, because I'm also not aware of the CentOS. I never used it. Although I one time installed it on the CentOS 7 login, bounced back to the login screen. So it says Control Alt F2.
Control those. Control Alt. I don't have F2 here, but okay. What is this cloud user?
Yeah, I think you have to give the password of 3.237.32.81.
Ah, there you go. Okay, I have just.
Can you hold on for a second? I'm getting a call.
Sure.
Hey, sorry for that.
It's all right.
So you got it now? Like are you able to log in?
Yeah, this is the page. I'm just seeing there was supposed to be.
So click on the start button.
To finish the install.
It already did.
No, it just downloaded, but he was. I
So
had
go
to
to
go to.
Documents, go to Downloads, Places, and Downloads. Go to Places and Downloads. So this is the one.
Yeah, this is the one, but I cannot click on it. He was running it on some command prompt.
Okay. So it is not like that you will double click it and it will install it. I think you have to give the command for it, right?
Yeah, it's sudo
Then
yum
go,
install or
yeah,
something.
correct. So click on the start button near Firefox, the bottom left. Yeah. Oh, this is for switching the screen. Okay, go back. I think you have to bring up the command prompt first. So let me see. Control Alt and T.
Control Alt and T.
T, yeah.
Now.
Nothing. Wait. Keyboard. If you prefer to something called terminal in a program menu. So go to program menu. Press the
Open
Windows key.
terminal. I think
Yeah.
open terminal. Oh, there you go.
This is the one.
Okay. I need my script.
So you have to go to that path first. You're writing it here. Go to downloads, CD downloads. No, D is capital. Yeah. Now
okay.
ls. Now sudo yum and install package name. And this one, install space and this whole thing. You know, I used to do this when I was in class 8th or something.
Oh.
Then I never used it because you remember Ubuntu? I don't know whether you have heard of it or not.
Ubuntu, yeah, I heard it. He
Yeah,
was asking me to download even
so
there too.
this is a lot similar to that.
Okay.
I never used Linux systems.
My wife was giving me a lot of ideas. She's like, you know what? Do it on this thing, and again create another instance. Dump your desktop there. Try to connect it. I'm like, learn as much as you can. Types.
Can you say
2020.
Control C,
It's not working. It's going to the next line.
Control V? You can't do that.
No, it's not going like that.
Okay, so I think it will in Linux. Now I'm just looking for that. If you highlight the mouse, Control Shift and C, you will copy. Okay, and for pasting it, Control Shift and C, and then I think Control Shift and V will be for pasting it.
Right now, let me just type it off because it's not going. Control, what did you say it was?
Say tab, click tab, Control Shift and C, I told. So if you say now, like I will give you a trick. If you say tab now, so what, say you have to type Tableau, right? It is there. So T and then tab. So it will automatically take it.
Okay. Where is this tab? Oh, there's a tab here. Okay.
Tab button I'm talking about.
Okay. Tab and control.
So whatever directory you are in, and you have to go to the next directory or something. So just say, let's say you have to go to downloads. So CD do and then say tab. So it will automatically pick.
Okay.
So sudo yum install and say Tableau server. You have to write everything. So say tab and then tab it. So whatever the next closest to that night will automatically take it. It will give you suggestions.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, there you go. It already started. So we have to deal with a lot of like script lines here in Linux,
Yeah.
and that is what saved us in the Windows server or Windows platform.
Yeah, I saw that video too, but I wanted to finish this one first.
Yeah,
And then
that's
today
fine.
probably
Like you're on the right track. Like the thought process is correct. Like if someone in the company is using Linux, and what if he and go ahead and ask you that? So this thought is good.
yeah, I wanted to ask, but it's the installation part, the videos I was following, it's not that clear about, I mean, what goes where usually. It's like he just gave um,
Mm-hmm.
a very so-called as vague explanation about how to install this.
Okay. 1 second, no?
1 second, please.
So you're following up the same things which they are telling in the video.
Yeah, I don't have a choice because
Yeah. That's
he's
how
the
we
only.
will learn. Even like everyone will not come to know that what's going on, right? Like everyone can't go with the every scenario you face. So you will learn through the process itself.
So let me
That's
install this later after the class. Let's
yeah.
go
So
with it.
that's what I was about to say. That go ahead and install these after the class, and maybe that can help you out.
Uh, Siddharth,
Hmm.
you just said
Hmm.
something in the beginning to avoid the blue screen. What was it? The tab, Control, Alt.
Alt and T for terminal. 1 second. Control Alt and F2.
F2. This takes me to the.
Login window. Like we have in Windows, we have Control Alt Delete. Correct.
Yeah.
So similarly for Linux, it is Control Alt and F2.
Okay.
So you purchased a space there in AWS, or your wife
I
gave it?
think I'll be building it. Yeah, I have to. It'll be built because the space they needed a requirement was 100 GB space
Mhm.
for Linux as well as 100 GB for Windows, I suppose. So I have to pay for it.
No, got it.
Yeah, I didn't qualify for the free trial.
Mhm. Okay, so other than this, have you tried anything on the Tableau server, which was installed in your local, or you just went ahead with these stuff?
I my idea was to dump PostgreSQL, and
Uh-huh.
it completely failed my server multiple
Okay.
times. It took a 4 to 5 times of reset,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not want to. I mean, the TSM did not load at all. It had so many errors, so I stopped
Okay.
there. So today I'm gonna dump all this, and I'm gonna
Install the Postgres.
install a PostgreSQL there. And but so that how do
Mm-hmm.
you? The only questions I have is where do I dump desktop? How do I connect it to this one? Let's say I'm putting it in another instance. The
Right.
instance I've created is especially for server. I don't want to download my desktop in it.
Okay.
I want to
So
create
you
another one.
so you gave okay, so see, let's say my Tableau server is installed in some other server. Okay. and I created one ID, and from which I can go ahead and so you remember when you go to the Tableau desktop, you have to log into the server to publish your dashboards and everything. So
Yeah.
there you have to give that credential, the Tableau server credential. So you can
They,
create one credentials for yourself, and you can publish it from anywhere. Like it's not necessary that you have to go ahead and do it with the Linux server or something. You can come back here and publish it with your local desktop also by connecting to the internet.
okay. Okay. Maybe I have to give the public key or something.
Yes, not the public key. I think you have to whitelist your IP address somewhere. And if it is not authenticated, I think directly you can connect to that.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so you don't need anything else other than the credentials. And if you want to use the same credentials, or if you want to create any new user for yourself to connect it, that would be better.
Yeah, I sure I will do that too.
Yeah. Okay, so today's agenda, let me just go back and share my screen. So today we will talk about the data export and the ask data.
Okay.
Okay, so we talked about the Postgres. We learned about how PostgreSQL works and how you can enter into your backend of your Tableau server. So now, one second. Okay. So now today what we will going to do is we are going to install additional submit for the pulling the data. One second.
Okay.
Okay, so now what we will going to do is, remember I told you about how the extract and how the live connection works. Okay,
Yeah.
so sometimes so there is a two different data source altogether. One is a live data and one is a extract data. So a live data is something where you connect to your data source live and extract anyhow. We are going to extract it and then dump it. So what happens is sometime, let's say you have a billion or the trillion rows in a database, and it will take a hell lot of time to create an extract. Okay, so
Right.
the idea which goes into is earlier we used to create the whole extract in the desktop itself in the local system, and after creating the extract we used to upload it on the Tableau server, and it the whole process depends upon the size of data you have. Okay, so sometimes it can take half an hour or 1 hour, or I have also faced some of the scenarios where it took 12 hours to create an extract.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so depending upon the data size, creating an extract can be painful. And why we choose to have an extract in our data sources, live versus extract always work good on the extract part, because it will be connecting to a copy of your data. It is not going to query back and again to your live data source. So imagine creating an extract is taking a 12-hour time. If you do any calculation on top of it, the complications of going back and just connecting to the data will increase and the time will increase.
Yep.
Okay. So just because of that reason, what we did, what we used to create extract. What happened with the 2019.1 is, so this was like 10.5 version. What happened with the 2820 version is, we can now publish our data source live or as an extract, and we can convert them, like if you want to create extract on the Tableau server itself directly, you can do that. So imagine if you have a very large data set, you just connected live with that data set and publish that data source. And on the server only, Tableau server only, you now be able to create an extract out of it. So let me give you an example how what I'm talking about so that it will make more sense. Okay, let's talk about this one. Okay, so sites, groups, users, system, users. Okay, let's say I'm creating an extract and I clicked on sheet 1. It asked me to save the extract, right? So depending upon the data size of my extract, what it will do is, let's click save and let's go back and review my data source. Data source, extract. Right now it is only 128 KB.
Right.
Okay, it's a very small data. So imagine this data could be like in GBs.
Yeah.
Okay, so that big could be my database. So I can can show you one of the examples. So this is the project which I worked upon, and let's talk about Tableau high school dashboard. So you see this was the biggest extract which I worked upon, and to create this extract it took me like 12 hours or something.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
so it was long back in January, but this was very hard to like create it and then upload it. It takes a lot of time. So now what you can do, you have created the extract. Right now, let's not take the extract connection. Let's go live and go to sheet 1. Let's save this one as say sites data and TWB. Yeah, save it and let's create something like sites. What is the site? User quota, query limit, with the site ID. Oh, and the dimension section. ID, name, username, system username, and I want the system users here rather than there. Okay, and let's say this is my database. Okay, just an example. So publish my workbook, and then here I was talking about. So if you give this this path from your local desktop or someone else computer also, you will be redirected to that server. And if let's say they have a login ID and the password for their username, or let's say you have shared your username with them, so what they can do, they can connect to that data source and then sign in. The sign in window will come. You remember?
Okay. Yeah.
You remember, right?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
So from there, after authenticating it, from anywhere, you will be able to publish on your server.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So right now, I am using the live connection, if you remember. So if
Yes.
I say publish workbook, there won't be any refresh extract or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And it will just ask me to what sheets I want to do, what permissions I want to take, and then directly you can publish your data source and the workbook. So here also, if you say publish separately, it will publish your data source separately, and you can give so we know the difference, right? Embedded in the
Yeah.
workbook or published separately. So let's take published separately and embedded password, and I think it will ask me for the password or not, depending upon their temporary memory. So you see, it took 23 seconds to publish just 190 KB data source.
Right.
So multiply with that amount of size of the data, it can take a lot of time to even publish those data sources.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so now my views are published and my data source is here. Okay, let's go to my data source, and you see there is a live data source connection.
Yeah.
Okay, instead of creating extract in my local, I can publish my data live, and here I can choose from the connection whether it should be a live connection or an extract connection.
Okay. I can.
So
Okay.
yeah, so if you choose that your database is very large, okay, and you don't want your views to get affected with that data, like you're connecting it live, right, with your workbooks, and uh, every time you click any filters or you click anything on your workbook, it will take time to connect back to the data source, filter that data, and then come back and reflect it on your workbook. So in that way, your workbook will be very, very slow. To
Right.
avoid that, we create extract so that it will be saved in a temporary folder, temporary file of Tableau server, and then it can just go back, see the data, come back, and just directly reflect it on the Tableau data Tableau workbooks. Okay, dashboard. Sorry. So
Okay.
to do that, so to do that, you just have to go and click on the extract part. Okay, and then it will say creating one extraction job, and it will start creating extract on the Tableau server itself. So
Okay.
irrespective of how much time it will take, your data will be created on the server directly. You don't have to wait for it and then um, create the extract in your local and then move on with that. So now when you have created the extract, you see extract refreshes came up,
Right.
and now you can schedule your refresh. Okay,
Okay.
so this trick is very useful, and even a lot of people don't know right now about this, because with the every updates you have to keep reading it and see that what different updates they got, and accordingly if you're facing any issues with the earlier updates, with some of the, let's say, uh, options are not available in the previous one, but they are in the new versions. So it's always good to read that and then recommend it to the or whatever organization you're working for.
Okay.
Okay.
And you just keep
So
refreshing this extract and keep it like
yeah.
keep yeah.
So what happens is how extract work is. Let's say you have created the extract at 2nd of November for 8 p.m. Correct.
Right.
So it will be having the data till that time.
Okay.
Whatever the data is available in your Tableau, sorry, in your data source, those data updated till this time will be reflected on your Tableau workbooks. If you made any changes in your data source and um, you know that your next update will be going to be on the which is daily 1 p.m. So next update will be tomorrow 1 p.m.
Right.
So after a day completion, you will be able to see the next changes whatever you did. So this is the only drawback. Okay, and if you want to see anything that if you want to see any changes in your Tableau workbooks, and you want to see it right now. Okay, sometimes happens that you made some changes and those changes are very important one. You can't wait till tomorrow, and you want to see those changes right now, and you have a extract connection there. What you can do is click here, more
Right.
actions, and there is an option of refresh extract.
Okay.
So if you do that, it will ask you execute full refresh right now on the data source, and this is the data source name. You can also see the like if you want to reschedule it or make a new schedule of it. So you want to say refresh now, and I want to see the changes, whatever the changes I have made it. Just click there. It says I created one extract, and you can track it from jobs. So you see which one it is. Just hover over on this job ID, and you will see this is a side group daily 1 p.m. and it is not refreshed. So last successful run was 4:11 p.m.
Got it.
So
Okay.
now you can see whatever the changes you have done right now, those changes will be available there. So this is something manual which you have to do if you can't wait till the next job run or the next full refresh run. Okay,
Okay.
so you can do it manually too.
Right.
Okay, so there are different options available for the extract. So you can directly right now we have a extract means we have a data source here. Okay, and
Right.
that data source will work as similar as a data source which you have, like we had the Excel, right? And
Yeah.
from that we are creating the visualizations out of it. So here also on the Tableau server, if you publish any extract, okay, that means you're publishing your data there in your Tableau server and you're exposing your data in the Tableau server. If it is a sensitive data, you should not be posting those data source in the Tableau server. Okay, or you should be giving so much encryption there, let's say a VPN ones, or uh, we have even the embedded passwords there. You can say prompt user, so that every time if they want to connect to that data source, they will be prompting your user ID and the password, which is not likely good, because every time you go back and see and then you have to log in. But if it is a sensitive data, it is like recommended to do that. Okay,
Okay.
so here right now we have a data, we have extracted data, we have a data source. So what you can do, you can directly create a new workbook with that data source. And new, if you click on the new workbook, you will see a similar window which we see on the Tableau desktop will be coming up, and you will be able to create visualization there.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably doesn't have few things in it.
Oh, yeah. So right, it there will be a lot of different option available other than the editing part. You we talked about the editing part where the data source was grayed out. Right now the data source is not grayed out. You can actually go ahead and see the data source. And here also you can add a new data source also. But the limitations will be adding a new data source only when if you have a data source available on your Tableau server. Otherwise, no new data source or no new extract can be created. So that is the limitation.
Okay.
But if you have a multiple data source available in the Tableau server itself, and if you want to upload those or make changes to those, you can do that. If you want to like cross join those two data sources, or if you want to make any visualization connecting to those two joins, you can do that still. It will work in a similar way.
I mean, the previous data sources you published on server, that is what you connect
Yes,
to. Okay.
yes. And from that only I'm creating this new dashboard.
Okay.
So if multiple data sources is published on your Tableau server, you can join them and you can use them, but you can't create a new extract out of it. That is the only limitation it has.
Okay.
And it is how it is different from editing a Tableau workbook and creating a new workbook from any data source is create edit. We talked about the editing part, if you remember.
Yep.
And this the similar windows come. So in that one, you can't go ahead and add any new data source. The data source part itself will be grayed out.
Right.
But here it is not grayed out. Here you can actually go ahead and add n number of data sources if you want.
Okay.
But you can't choose a connection because it is already published.
Right. Yep.
Okay. You can add a data source filter that is applicable, but you can't go ahead and choose a connection from there. Maybe with the moving on updates, it could be like improving that too. But right now we have that limitations.
Yeah.
Okay. And as we saw, we can create similar stuff here too. Fine.
Yep.
And we can save this. So you have to save the workbook, and then again it will ask you. So say Ravi test. Okay, I'm saving it here. Show workbook as. So see how it is asking us to save those workbooks. show workbook as tab, embedded sheets, say OK. And now it will be publishing your dashboard. So you got the difference?
Yeah.
Editing a workbook and creating a new workbook out of your extracts.
You mentioned about data source in the server, right?
Yep.
Which probably sometimes is confidential or something like that.
Yep.
But you have to dump the data source into the server, otherwise the workbooks don't open, is it? But
That's
accessing,
true.
but
Let, let me tell you how to restrict those so that it can't be exposed to the end users.
okay,
I'm coming to that. One
okay.
second. Let it complete. It's taking longer than I think that is done. So file and then close this one. Go back to explore and in the training I have say Ravi test. There you go. Fine. Okay, coming back to your question. So right now we have talked about how we publish those data source, how we create a Tableau workbook out of it. Okay, so restricting your data source so that it should not be exposed to the end users can be done in a various ways. Okay, first way to do that is you should go ahead and not embed your password, rather than you go ahead and prompt the user there.
Okay.
So every time if someone wants to connect to that data source, they have to go ahead and give the authentication as a prompt user, and they will be getting a window, and there they have to enter their user ID and the password. But if you give a prompt user, it will ask you again and again those user ID and password to enter, and it can be annoying to them.
Okay.
Okay, so like if you're working for a big company and um, some people are on the higher designation who probably want to see those confidential data, but you don't want to expose it to everyone. So the one way to do is to prompt user. The other way to do is to create a workbook and give permissions to only those group of people or individual people.
Okay.
Second way is this. Third way is when you're doing or installing your Tableau server. Okay, right now when I publish this, so whatever I have published, you can see the data here. Okay, but I can also create a new data by connecting to my data source also. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Or I can edit my workbook and then create those data. So while installing your this one, the Tableau server, you can restrict these information. You can restrict these options
Yeah.
which are available here. Like you can disable ask data, you can disable edit option, you can disable download. So
Right.
you can manage that according to your own guidelines which is provided. So you know
Okay.
what I'm talking about?
Perm- Permissions, right? You have to go.
Yep. So you see ask data, you can check it out. So no one will see the ask data.
Oh, you can do it here. DSM. Okay.
Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. So you can actually go ahead and edit those permissions. So that they will not able to view these information
Siddhartha, lost you there. Siddharth, I can't hear you. Siddharth, I can't hear you at all. Hello?
Yeah, Ravi.
Yes, Siddharth, I lost you the last 2 minutes. I think it is 1 minute I lost.
Oh,
Connection
okay,
over.
sorry. So I don't know what happened. I hope you're able to hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I was talking about that we can talk about this all Tableau server management in the coming classes. Right now, what I'm interested is in the hours data. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go back to my Explorer and let's go back to the training where I published my data source, and let's only show the data source right now. Okay, so we have two data sources. One is order samples superstore, which we created long back, and this is the one which we created right now. So
Right.
remember, the hours data will only come in the extract part. It is not going to come in the workbook part. In the workbook part, if you want to see the hours data, you can enable or disable that. And for that, accessing the hours data, you have to actually go to your workbook. Here you will not see any hours data. Then you have to go to your workbook and then click on the hours data. If it is an extract one, I'm sorry, this is a live connection. So hours data will only come when it is a extract data. Otherwise, it is not going to come.
Okay.
You see? And the similar window will come up. Okay. So this is my hours data window. And this window is almost similar to what my Tableau desktop window are. Okay.
Okay.
So right now, what is hours data? Hours data is, as the name says, you just have to ask your data, and the intelligence which is built inside this Tableau server will create the visualization for you.
Got it.
Okay. So it is just a simple English that whatever the questions you have in your head, you can ask the data. So let's say I want to say how many users are there on Tableau server. So it gives you two options. Distinct count of activation code, filter name groups to all users as a text table, or filter name groups to all users as a text table.
Right.
So let me say this. So it gave me all users are 9.
Okay.
Okay. Or you can ask them to create a visualization for you. So say bar graph for total user.
Oh, wow. Okay.
See? So you just have to ask the question and visualization will be automatically created. So this is a bad example right now. So let me close this one and go back and take my other data source, which is order sample superstore. Okay. And right now, let me ask mm, subcategory wise, say sales. I think subcategory is given as dash. You see, I don't have to drag and drop and create these. So just have to ask it, and then the data, it will automatically pull up those information and give it to you. So you want to say average sales for each category. So it say average sales, and with the each category and the subcategory it is giving me.
Oh.
Okay. So you see,
Yeah.
category is furniture, book subcategory is bookcases, and the average sale is 504. So you can actually go ahead and change the bar graphs if you want to see in any other way.
Right. Okay. There are not many options here, though.
Yeah, but you will get your answer just by asking your question to the data in a simple
Yeah.
English language. Got it?
Yeah.
So this is what ask data is. It's simple. It's not that complicated. Okay. Let's go back and talk about the different sections which we have on the workbook.
And this as data is for people who want to generate something then and there, but doesn't have to. We don't have to give the permission to
Let's say,
everybody.
yeah, no. So if you enable ask data for something, it will be enabled for everyone. It is not like you can control it. Although you can control your data source. Okay. For example, this is my data source, right? And this is where I can see the ask data. Okay.
Right.
So what I can do, I can go to my permissions page if I'm an administrator, and I can restrict all users to see that there is data, and I can add groups or the users role here.
Right.
I think we have talked about this.
Yeah.
So wherever you feel that you have enabled your, so what happens is many of the companies don't trust and don't trust to expose their data. So that's why they disable ask data, because
Okay.
in that way, if someone don't keep the permissions right, and by mistake if the data got exposed, anyone can able to query. So it is just like querying your data source, right? It is just like querying your data. So they can able to query that data and take out the information out of it.
Right.
They, just to avoid that human error, they don't prefer to enable the ask data at the very first place.
Okay. Okay. Makes it simpler.
Yep. So but you can give permissions to your data source, and who can or can't be able to see that data or access that data. So there are different options to view it, or connect it, or download it, or override it, or delete it, or the set permissions to it. So you can able to control that data, but viewing the data, if you are restricting it, so they can't even see that what is inside the data source.
Okay.
Okay. So this or you can disable ask data at the very first place, so no one will see this options at all. For example, this is my company's profile. Let me go back here to explore, let's talk about this one. And let's say I'm just talking about my data source. This is my data source. Let's take a data source which I have published. Okay. So you see, there is no Ask data here.
Yeah.
We have disabled it. So you see connection, extractor fresh, connected workbooks, but you don't see Ask data.
Okay.
Okay.
So your company is disabled for everybody.
Everybody. And how you can do that is by here unchecking this box.
Okay.
Okay, so that is another discussion for another day. We will definitely do that too. So right now, what I'm interested in is about this one. So this is the extract one, and let's compare this with embedded maybe. Yep. Okay. So these are the two Tableau workbooks. So this workbook has an extract connection, and this workbook has a live connection. Okay.
Okay.
How I know is like it is embedded connection, right? We published that day. So here you see you don't see any Ask data because this is not connected to the extract database. But this one is connected to the extract database, and you can see the Ask data here.
Okay. The other one is live, you said, right?
Yeah, that is a live connection.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk in detail about all what we can do with this Tableau workbook. Okay, now we have created a workbook, uploaded it, and let's see what different things we can do here. Okay, before that, I just want to do something. I want to show filter, show filter. Show filter, show filter. Okay, just an example. So science data. No, we published Ravi test, right? What do we published? Ravi test, right? No, Ravi test is, yeah, site data, is it? It is. Okay, go ahead and publish this one. Why I'm hearing that noise? I heard it twice now.
I do not know.
Okay. Ignore it. Okay, so now you see we have different filters here. Okay, and what we can do is we can actually go ahead and interact with our data by changing the filters. Well, let's say I don't want to see the data for the math side. Okay, I can uncheck it, and here I can see only default one. Okay, let's say we are using a different filters here, and we have messed it up. whatever the filters which we have checked, and we don't want those filters to be applied now. Okay, so to do that, you will not go back and then check it back again to see it, what different data is again available there, right? So if you're doing any changes, if you're doing any changes to your workbook, and somehow you got to some point that you don't want to see all these data, you want to see the original data. So what you can do is you can go ahead and say revert.
Okay.
Okay, if you say revert, it will bring back your visualization to the original position,
Okay.
to the very beginning. Okay, but let's say I clicked on IT, I clicked on guest, and these data is not available right now. If I want to bring back the last data with the last click which I did, I will say undo, and only the last step it will undo it. How
Okay.
we do it in uh, Excel.
Right.
Okay, and then we have a redo also, bringing back those changes. But if you click on revert, everything will be back to normal.
Okay.
The refresh is the refresh of your data source. See, if you click here, if you click on the refresh, remember we talked about going on the double dot and refreshing your data source. So
Yeah.
if you click here, you can actually go ahead and refresh your data directly.
Okay.
And this is the option for pausing that refresh.
Okay.
Okay. The data details. So what is data details? Right now, enable command, future disabled. Okay, so data details is something where you can see the full data, the data what is available here in your workbook section. You will be able to see those data.
Okay.
Okay, if you click there, it is saying right now Tableau catalog isn't fully configured. So for this one, for the data details, actually we need a extension. We talked about two extensions, right? You remember what are those two extensions we talked about?
Extensions.
Hmm? Uh,
Oh, okay.
the add-ons.
All
So
right.
one is
Right.
Tableau data management add-on and one is server management add-on.
Okay.
Okay. So the data. So this is something which is uh, related to that, the catalog, the Tableau catalog. And for the Tableau catalog, server management add-on should be enabled. Okay.
Okay.
Then only you can see this data details here.
Okay.
Got my point?
Got it. Okay.
So that's why it is saying that Tableau catalog is not fully configured. Ask your Tableau administrator to run the TSM maintenance metadata services enabled. Come on. Okay.
Okay.
So to enable this, we need to have that add-on. Ars data we just saw. What is Ars data and how to use it?
Yeah.
Okay. View original means I was not on this window. I was under this window. Yeah. So view original means if you click here, uh, if you want to save whatever the view you are right now. Let's say I've clicked the system. I don't want to see. I don't want to see guest, and I don't want to see all users. I just want to see the groups. Okay.
Okay.
So all users will make sense. Let's say I don't want to see these two. I just want to see the users, and I just filtered those data. So you see there is a star button there right now. If I revert those changes, there won't be any star button,
Okay.
right? But if you click and filter your data and do something changes on your dashboard, you will see there is a star button there now.
Okay.
Okay, if you click here, you can actually go ahead and save this view for yourself, so that you don't have to come back again and again and then change your views according to your own will, and then see the data. If that is something which you want to see promptly, you can go ahead and view original and make that particular view as your default view.
Okay. This is but still saved in the server though.
So see, yeah, it will be saved in the server. So for others, the original which I have published with the all the filters, that view will be shown. But for you, if you click on that view, so let's say name this view. So let's say Ravi's view. Just an example. And if you want to show it to others, you can make it visible to others also. Or if you just want to give it for yourself, just save it. Okay. And if you go to Sheets Data, and if you click back here, you see,
Okay.
I'm seeing only those data which I've already filtered. I'm not seeing the original ones. So you see here in the view section, it says Ravi's view.
Okay.
Okay. You can you can see original too just by clicking on it.
Okay.
Okay, but
Okay.
you can save your own preferred view and make it your default.
Okay. Okay.
Got the idea?
Yep.
Okay. Alerts. So alerts are something which needed to be created on the measurement data measure field. Okay, it can't be created on any text fields. For example, uh, yeah, there we go. So let's say I want to say that if discounts go above and beyond 500, then I
Okay.
want to have an alert. Okay,
Okay.
so I will say above or equal to 500, and which condition should be true? You want to say daily most, or the frequency as frequency as possible, or hourly at most. So the frequency you can set it, data sheet you can set it, and then email address you can just give and create that alert. So if your discount goes above or equal to 500, then you will get an alert.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
So this is again a notification where, like, other than subscribing your uh, dashboard, or getting alerts for getting updates for your workbooks, this is something which you can create alerts on the data itself. So let's say you have any threshold. Let's say mm, you're working for let's say school, or not school. Let's talk about bank, and I want to see that what is the count of credit cards which is sold under my team, and I want to track that data. Let's say my one day maximum count is 10, so at least 10 of the credit cards should be sold in one day. Okay, and that alert I can give it as a 10, and automatically if that threshold meets, I will get an alert.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to the metrics. So metrics is something which you can create, which is the fastest way to track your data. For example, let's say click here, okay, and you want to see right now. You can see all those data, right? Like I just clicked on the corporate, and I can see the corporate data is discount is 477.8. It is saying 477.85, giving the two decimals. Okay,
Okay.
you can see those data, uh, whatever the metrics you want to apply on it, and you can create a metrics out of it. So
Okay.
it is also one of the ways to quickly see your data. Okay, say create. So it will be going to save where in the go to metrics. So this is how the metrics data will looks like. So it will talk about the numbers, the discount for the corporate, uh, who is the owner of the metrics. If you gave any description, it will show up here, and which sheet it is connected to, what are the dimensions and the measures applicable there, and which projects it is uh, published, and when it is last modified, or if you have any tag on it. If you click here, and if you choose just metrics, you will able to see the metrics.
Okay.
So how metrics are useful is, let's say you have a lot of different dashboards in your Tableau server, okay, and you want a, a different, let's say you have created one new folder here just for metrics, and you want to track something daily, okay. Let's say you're in the stock exchange, and you want to see the ups and the downs of the market for a particular share, okay. So you can save that data in the metrics, and you don't have to go back in the dashboard and again and see the data. You just click on the metrics and see that what is the value right now.
And does it update all by itself? It does, right?
So if it is a live data, yes, if it is a live data, it will always upgrade. If it is extract data, whatever the schedules you have put on there, it will update on that time.
Okay. Okay.
So data wise, we have already clear that how the data will get updated.
Yep. Okay.
Fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Metrics.
Where was I? Yeah. So this is how you can create metrics. If you want to learn more about it, just click learn more, and it will redirect you to the Tableau page where you can see that it is pretty much simple that how you can create a metrics. But if you want to uh, do anything else on top of it, you can actually go ahead and read it.
Okay.
Okay. So there are different tricks to it that but these will be only like for you as a Tableau server administrator. You don't have to like go ahead and do all these stuff. Those things will be taken care by developer. You just have to manage it whether you can enable metrics or not. That's it. But it is
Oh,
always good to know.
okay.
Okay. Okay. Coming back here. Editing part we already talked about.
Yep.
Do you want to go ahead again on this?
Now that's all right. Edit, share,
Okay.
download comments. Okay.
So share. I think you know that how we can share those links. The
Yeah.
link will directly you can copy and save, give it on the email, or you can just mention people here if they are available on the Tableau server,
Okay. Yeah.
just to notify them. Okay. Then again, download we can download it as image. So if we download as image, it will comes like this.
Okay.
Okay. If we download it as data only, it will come as a, so if we say download as a data, it will give you a summary of that data and it will give you a full data.
Okay.
And you can see you can download all those as a text file. So it will be downloaded as a CSV file.
Okay. Yep.
Fine. Then we have as a cross tab. So cross tab is again the same CSV or Excel, which we just saw. Then we have a PDF. So
Yep.
now you can, so oh, this is new. So now you can choose between the paper size too. That's interesting. Earlier, if you just click on the download PDF, they had only one view. Okay. And now I think they have a lot of different options. So orientation you can set, scaling you can set, paper size you can set. And if you download as a PDF, it will comes like this. If you
Okay.
want to use these PDF somewhere in your file or local, you can use it.
There's no
Okay.
printer connected to this, is there?
Printer connected to what? Directly to the server?
No, yeah, I know, right? I don't think so.
No, no. And then at the last, you have PowerPoint. So if you click as a PowerPoint, it will directly create you a PowerPoint for you. You see?
Okay.
So these are very useful and can be used if you're using any with Tableau deck, Tableau visualizations, and you want to show it on a presentation. You can just download it as a presentation, show it up.
Okay.
And the last is the Tableau workbook itself. So if you click on there, it will ask you to choose the version of Tableau desktop, which Tableau desktop version you want to download it from. So let's say you're using 2020.3 right now, and you don't and you're using a Tableau desktop version of 2020.1, for example. So you can
Okay.
choose a different version of it and then download it.
Okay. Okay.
The whole workbook will be downloaded.
Okay.
Okay. So let's close this. Okay. Comments we talked about, like if you have someone in your company, if you want to mention someone, just put @ and say I want to say about Ravi. So you will get notified. If any email is tagged with your account, you will get the email notifications too.
Okay.
Okay. And you can actually go ahead and add the snapshot or to whatever you want to show it to that particular person that you're talking about something this,
Yeah.
and you can
But,
post it.
okay.
Okay. And again, the full screen. So full screen, it will just take you to the full screen. That's it.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
So I think we learned about the two different kind of data source today and how to create extract directly on the Tableau server, what is our data, and what different stuff we can do with the published dashboard.
Yep.
Okay, so go back and install your Tableau server on the Linux. Download. So just I know you have a reference video which you can go back and reference to, but try to catch it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not clear. His videos are, he just creating something for my understanding, but it's not clear how he's using every step. So
Uh,
I'm just trying to
maybe
follow
with
him.
time, or you try to refer some other videos. Maybe with time, you will get to know the steps by your own. Because in the starting, it will all look jumbled.
Yeah, I don't know why he clicked on one thing, why didn't click on something. Is something is not clear for me. So still, I'm just
Okay.
installing right now.
Okay. Okay.
But
Go
it's not
ahead.
definitely not a training
You
video.
Okay. So go ahead and do those. If you do any mistakes, you will learn from them. So that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is all okay. Okay. So
Yep.
we'll meet
Okay.
tomorrow at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. Come
All
back with
right, Siddharth.
questions. Happy
Yeah.
learning.
Thank you, Siddharth.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
one. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.